Hey everyone, last update for a while, possibly for months or years. So, this is going to be the last one of these things for a little while. I want to talk about perception, reputation, and what happens when the public image of a person becomes so degraded, so stale, and so low resolution that continuing to participate in the old content cycle becomes a waste of bandwidth. Recently, Intersignal, my startup, we put out a press release that I was proud of. It was about the Braid, our software that we're working on. It was about local first AI. It was about persistent state, protocol architecture, how our vector transfer works, and the importance of sovereign computation, the importance of doing your own computing instead of sending it out to the cloud. So the press release was professional. It was technical. It was current. It was even picked up on Yahoo Finance's AI coverage tab, which is a good sign. Not a world-changing event, but a real signal that people are paying attention. A sign that the work is beginning to exist outside of my own feed and outside of my own thoughts. And the only media inquiry I received in response to that press release, which went out to thousands of journalists, the only inquiry I got back was from a journalist who wanted to talk about Pizzagate, wanted to smear me over Pizzagate 10 years later. Not Braid, not the software that we put out the press release on, not Intersignal, what I've been focused on for the last year and 3 months, not local AI, which is my passion, not the protocol we're building, not why a 384-dimensional state object might matter, not why people are trying to move intelligence out of centralized VATs, centralized data centers, and back toward local machines. No, the reflex was, can we drag this back to 2016? Can we bring you back to 2016, David? Just so I can feel better as a little blogger in LA. Just so you can be my punching bag for the day. No thanks. No thanks, LA blogger. I'm not interested in defending quote-unquote David Seaman as a legacy internet object. I don't care about my Wikipedia page. I don't care about bloggers in Los Angeles. I'm not interested in serving as a character in someone else's partisan retrospective morality play. I am not interested in being flattened into an old archive so that people who never understood the present in 2026 can feel competent about the past. The Pizzagate cover-up weirdos were wrong 10 years ago, and they're wrong today. Even if they're completely right and nothing happened in those emails, hey, when you go fishing with people and you put on your fishing hat and you take out the fishing rods and you get on the boat and you go out to your favorite fishing hole, maybe you never go fishing. Maybe you're just talking about fishing and you have the equipment to go fishing, and maybe you never go fishing. But that to me seems like a low probability event. And those emails from 10 years ago, you had men talking about stuff and exchanging images that were simply obscene. Obscene and in some cases evil. Not a representation of evil like some painting of Dante's Inferno, but actually a portal into evil. Right? Some of those artworks that the Podesta brothers are interested in collecting. Not representation of evil, actually evil. And of course, you can't go after somebody for collecting strange art. And nor is that my focus. Nor is talking about Pizzagate my focus. I have an AI startup. But it's weird to me that people don't see me for who I am. And again, I'm not embarrassed that I covered weird human trafficking emails 10 years ago. I'm embarrassed that the world tried to wallpaper me over. But I'm not embarrassed at what I covered 10 years ago. But again, 10 years is a long time. I've done a lot of stuff since then. A lot of stuff I haven't even told people. And I don't say any of this angrily. I say it clinically. There comes a point where correcting the record becomes a trap. Every correction becomes more content. Every clarification becomes another surface for distortion. I don't care what you think of David Seaman. Every attempt to prove you are not the old caricature to these people keeps those characters alive. So the move here is not to argue with the image. The move is to stop feeding it forever. To be absolutely clear, I am not disappearing. I am not suicidal. I'm not going anywhere in that sense. I'm stepping back from the public-facing content cycle because we're almost done with Braid. It's very close. Already people see how it works. I don't need to be attacked for stuff I said 10 years ago that I still don't understand. I guess I'm stupid. I guess I'm a genius at AI and investing, but I guess I'm a moron when it comes to reading weird boomers' emails. Okay, I'm not a perfect person. The work now is not defending my identity. The work is building Braid out and the adoption community around it. Some of you guys have already emailed me, some big LLM people, that you want to deploy the Braid and work with it. So it's still rough. It's still early. It's clumsy. It doesn't work perfectly. And that's fine. We're going to improve this over the next couple months. Real things begin that way. Protocols are not born polished. If you remember Bitcoin, there are a lot of patches, a lot of Bitcoin improvement proposals that had to be carried out. So that's where my attention belongs. Not conspiracy theories, not trial by click, not LA bloggers looking for some new purpose in life. You could have written an article about my AI startup, and I would have gladly agreed to an interview. I just don't want to be smeared over something that, again, I don't think I did anything wrong. I think Joe Rogan deleting our 7 conversations after Pizzagate came out, I think that was wrong. I think YouTube banning me for 8 years and Spotify briefly banning me, I think that was wrong. I think the facts or the data should have just been purely digested. If I'm a crazy, then I'm a crazy. But one 1,000th is crazy as somebody like Alex Jones. And again, if you go back through my coverage 10 years ago, I still want to know about the emails, the walnut sauce, and the $65,000 hot dogs. I still want to know, what is that stuff? Are these just really weird elites who are born into more money than any of us can conceive of, and they're into really weird stuff? Or do they just pretend to go fishing and they don't really go fishing? I don't know. The old internet turned people into narratives. The next internet turns intelligence into infrastructure. So that's why I'm not focused on responding to bizarre media requests like that. What we're trying to do is actually a big thing. I'm not a stupid person. People keep trying to box me in as a very dumb man, and I appreciate it, but that's not who I am. Compute drives decisions now. Models, agents, local inference, private memory, open protocols, trusted state, and sovereign collaboration are going to matter far more than the reputational games of the last media cycle or anything in the last decade. So yes, Pizzagate, we're building real gates for the future. Gates into local AI, gates into persistent context, gates into tools that belong to the user. Gates into systems that do not require every thought, file, memory, and collaboration to be routed through someone else's centralized data center. That is the work. And for a while, I need to be quieter so I can do it, so I can finish it. I need rest. I need focus. I need fewer mirrors pointed at me, and more attention on the architecture itself. I need to let the noise die down, let the market do what it is going to do. And I need to tell people like this journalist, hey, you won. You don't need to smear me. You already won. You turned me into a trivialized man for 8 years and a joke while I was living in Washington, D.C. You already won. And yet here I am building something, and here I am not needing anything from anybody else in the world. And I notice people are mischaracterizing me. Even someone who's known me for literally my entire life. He had some Matt Walsh style blow up on me that he's not interacting with me anymore because I, quote, work in AI. I don't like AI. I don't like AI. I love these people on the right where it's just their preferences now. Like, you think that's actually a movement, just telling me what you don't like? I don't like AI, David. You became one of those Silicon Valley AI tech bros. It's a person who knows me my whole life. Says I became a Silicon Valley tech bro. Like this journalist, he's not seeing the real me. Have I ever lived in Silicon Valley? No. Do I hang out with people like Mark Zuckerberg? Am I in that league? Not at all. Have I spent a life building apps to monetize users and to monetize clicks? Not even once. Braid is the first software I'm releasing. I don't have a life of releasing tech products. I'm not a tech bro. But there's this dishonest characterization because these people on the right are listening to these Matt Walsh podcasts all day, where AI is evil and the data centers, you can hear the data centers everywhere, buzzing like bees. They're buzzing like bees. It's literally mass psychosis. It's the people who told you to stay 6 feet away from each other during the pandemic. And if you went 5.5 feet in a grocery store, they would scream, "Why did you murder everybody? You broke the 6-foot circle. You've murdered everybody in the grocery store. Why did you murder us?" It was a hysterical, ridiculous time. And those people have pivoted to the anti-AI John Connor wannabes. Bunch of fucking wannabes, protecting us From what? From database software running through GPUs, databases that just run faster. And yeah, it's cognition, it's intelligent in the same way that a search engine gives you intelligent results. I don't think it has a soul. I don't think it has any ambition. And I think these people boxing all of us in AI in as manipulative tech bros are just genuinely low IQ. There's something wrong there. I don't need to debate people drawing a caricature of me and then saying, how is this not you? I don't need that. So the people who understand who I am, you already know. And the people who care about local AI, you already understand why the Braid is a cool project. I'm not trying to make a fortune off of it. I'm not trying to turn this into my Anthropic. It's just a cool project that I'm working on because I understand it. And again, people trying to make me out to be some Forrest Gump Pizzagate guy. Hey, look into your own soul. Why don't you get a soul? Why don't you lease a soul somewhere? Because to be 10 years later, still trying to wallpaper over Pizzagate is unfathomably pathetic. Pizzagate was the left-wing version of Epstein. It was just the opening preview to the Epstein stuff, except Pizzagate affected mostly people on the left, lobbyists in DC who like to collect bizarre art that I can't even describe in this podcast because we don't want to go there. That's the past. These are weird people. If you're a journalist and you spend your time trying to cover up for John Podesta's art collection, you're a fucking weirdo. Thank you guys so much, and you won't hear from me anytime soon, but when the Braid comes out, there will be plenty of press releases, and we'll do some ad spend. You'll know about it. No worries. Thank you guys.